Say hello to my little friend. You've seen this before. This is a Bolex B8L. Yes, it's a lovely little standard 8 camera made in about 1961 with 2 lenses on it, which can be rotated. I quite like the 2-lens turret, not that 3-lens one. This was, 2 lenses a bit more streamlined. And what the deal is with this thing is that they didn't. This was before zoom lenses, or it might have not been before zoom lenses, but the zoom lenses were not. Well, this camera didn't have a zoom lens. And so it's before SLR cameras as well. So when you look through the viewfinder there, you're actually looking out through this little window here. And when you film, you're filming through this lens here on the top bit there. Okay, so that's a 12.5mm lens, which is a sort of a medium distance one. And this is a 5.5mm lens, which is a lovely wide angle one, which I'm so happy about. I got it off eBay. Cost more than the camera. But that's the thing with lenses. Sometimes they do cost more than the cameras. And I had a little problem because when I shot with this thing, I found that everything was I was cutting people's heads off and everything was sort of dropping off the bottom of the picture. And that's because what you see through the eyepiece here, of course, is not what the film sees through this lens here. It's not an SLR, single lens reflex. I'm showing off my knowledge here. And you might think, well, that's not a problem. They're right next to each other. You know, surely what you see in here is pretty much what you get in here. Not true. No. So I did some tests. I wanted to know exactly what the difference was, what's called parallax, between the view here and the view here. Okay. Now the problems really start when you get close into someone, close into what you're filming, because the parallax gets a bit more accentuated. So I need to really work this out. What I did first is I tried to make a cardboard kind of viewfinder on top, because this viewfinder doesn't have a 5.5mm setting. I tried to make a little viewfinder on top. It was rubbish. I filmed all my family without their heads. And I filmed my extended family, and they didn't have their heads either. Absolute garbage. I can't even show it to them. Oh yeah, that's right, extended family, if you're watching. What I show you is only the stuff that works out. There's a lot of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor, let me tell you. Let me tell you, I don't get no respect. Anyway, so how are we going to solve this? Well, with some test footage. Yes, indeed. So what I did is I got my focus chart and I filmed it and I lined it up in the viewfinder so it was dead center. A bit like this, what you see just here, this picture here. In fact, let's have a look at the footage. I filmed it dead center and then I compared that with the actual footage that came out of the camera. Okay, you all with me? Let's see what I'm talking about. What the hell am I talking about? Oh, not that. Yeah. Enough of that. We've done that. Right. Here we go. Okay, so pay attention, 007. Now, that first one. Okay, that was the view. That was taken with my phone through the eyepiece. With the camera with the 5.5mm lens. Okay, so the eyepiece, it's not quite center, but it's close to center, right? When I developed the film, though, what came out? This. Oh dear, it's up and to the right. Up and to the right, yes. So it wasn't dead center. So when I film using this thing, I know that I have to get the center of the picture exactly. Well, I need to get it down and to the left. I need to aim down and to the left. For some reason I've got hiccups now. I also did a little bit of, as you can see here, I did a little bit of exposure tests. This is 100 ASA film with the 5.5mm lens. I don't remember the frames per second. f1.8, 2, 2.8, 4, 5.6, 11, 22, all the way down to 22. So as you can see, it's not central. So I know that when it looks central, it's actually like this, right? I tried with the 12.5mm lens, which is the bit more magnified one. Very central there. Nice. That was the view through the viewfinder. And what did I shoot on the actual film? Let's have a look. Oh my goodness, it's way off. That's no good at all. That was only about, that was what, 2 feet away from the focus chart. Totally off. So that's not right. That's not good. So I have to bear that in mind. Now this footage with the robot, this robot head was not even visible through the viewfinder. Do you get me? I couldn't even see it through the viewfinder. I put it in front of the lens. It was like literal inches away from the lens. That 5.5mm lens, you can get really close to it. And let me tell you, those prime lenses, you get a sharpness. You get a sharpness you don't get with zoom lenses. So 2.8, 4, whatever, 5.6, whatever. That's just an interesting, because if I'm going to test something, I might as well test a whole bunch of stuff. Barry says, mark the front of the viewfinder with a grease pencil. Yeah, that might be right. Like a box that's the actual. Yeah, that's a good idea, Barry. I might do that. So anyway, so that wasn't even visible in front of the viewfinder. So yeah, so now I know. And here's the 5.5 lens 2 feet away. Okay, I didn't quite get that central. And let's see it, 2 feet. Actually, when you're 2 feet away with the wide-angle lens, it almost gets it right. There's not so much parallax problems with that, with the wide angle. And here, just for completeness sake, I put the 2.5mm lens. Sorry about the focus there. Bloody phone only focused on the viewfinder itself. And 12.5. Yes, it's not bad, but it's not perfect. You could still lop someone's head off with that if you're not careful. What else is on this test footage here? Now I did it at 5 feet away. This is the wide-angle lens, 5 foot distance. It's all right. I think if you're 5 feet away, the parallax is not so bad, and that's at 12.5 millimeter, 5 feet away. Not too bad. So with that in mind, here's some footage I shot with. Well, in the viewfinder, everything was too low and too much to the left, but knowing what I know, here we go. I think the framing actually worked pretty well. There we go. Also, with such a wide-angle lens, you've got a little bit of leeway, if you're a few feet away from your subject. There's my lovely wife, Sissy. And that was an interesting little thing there. That was the same view with the wide-angle. Whoops, let's see that again. The wide angle there, that's the wide angle, and the 12.5mm lens there. I also have a telephoto as well, but because the camera's only got space for 2 lenses, it's not gonna happen. I have to take the lens off and put the next one on. There we go. All right. So I've learned something already. Hopefully we've all learned something.